Well, it's two of Teresa's. We realize what it is now on Zoom. We're going to have a conversation with you. I am Hillary in Ontario, Canada.
And I'm Teresa in Barbados. Welcome.
What happened? Did you just disappear? I'm going to be in and out. We're still having problems with this program. We found that actually it's Zoom that's caused they had an upgrade or something, and now our system just kind of fluctuates in and out. We've been trying all different kind of things, and unfortunately it still hasn't worked, so we will be having a conversation with Zoom. Okay, today's topic, Teresa.
Colorism and shadism.
Mm-hmm.
You know what it is, Hillary?
No, tell me.
I like that third over. Okay.
You like that? I got more of those for tonight.
Don't blame it on your home though. Okay,
Nope.
colorism is basically prejudice and discrimination, especially within the racial or ethnic group, favoring people with lighter skin over those with darker skin.
Mm-hmm.
So it's us, it's you, bashing your own. Not someone else now.
Yep. But before we go any further, hold on. We dug right into it. So before we go into it, like, yep, not only disclaimer, but remember to like and subscribe. Am I pointing right there? Yeah, right here. Okay, on our different platforms, we have Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter, and RSS, where you can listen to us on multiple platforms, including Zinger and Spotify and Apple and all of the others, and Google's, etc. So don't forget to check us out there after the show, where you can hear the audio part of this. Go on, disclaimer, Teresa. Teresa, you gotta talk louder because Victor's. Actually, no. Before we go any further, I just want to get a little serious for a second, and I just want to say a shout out to Rudy and his family, and we wish them well in this tough time that they're going through. Rudy is always here every week with us, and we always thank him for his support. So now that he's going through a tough time, we just kind of hot tea with Pleazures, wrapping our arms around you and hug you tight. We'll see you soon. And Victor said to you, Teresa, go find her a microphone for Teresa. he's a GoFundMe for Teresa's microphone. Teresa has a microphone, but the problem is logistics sometimes. So anyhow, we are working on everything, Victor. Thank you for pointing that out. Teresa, just talk a little bit louder so we can all hear you.
Okay. Right, we were saying what colorism is. Do you hear me better now? Is that a little bit better?
We'll find out. Nicolette, let us know, Nicolette, if you can hear Teresa well, or she needs to be louder.
Okay.
Okay, keep going.
I don't know what's wrong.
I told you, from the time Zoom did that upgrade, we have been having problems. Like, they go, I know what's going to screw up hot tea with Pleazures.
Right, so
And up there goes. They heard me. Look at that. They.
still flashing it now.
Yeah. It's okay. We'll figure it out.
Definition for colorism.
Mhm.
This is discrimination.
Need to be louder. Needs to be louder.
Within a racial or ethnic group, favoring people with lighter skin over those with darker skin.
Mhm.
And the shadism of it is defined as the discrimination against an individual on the basis of his skin tone. So they're quite close.
Mhm.
Okay?
Okay.
So that is our discussion for tonight.
Okay. You're gonna have to scream, girl.
Is this part of your portfolio now, Hillary? Because I know you had added some stuff.
Yeah, DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion. Yes, I definitely am going to be very much about that and teaching people about certain things. But tonight we're going to learn together about, well, not together, but you know what I mean. We're going to share some information about colorism and shadism and the prejudice behind that, as well as discrimination. And know that shadism and colorism is not a black issue. It is a world issue. It's in every culture. If you've been colonized, you are dealing with it. Okay, from Asia to Africa to Europe to North America, South America, Central America. It's everywhere. So let's dig in.
Okay.
Be loud, Teresa. Be loud.
There's a lady, there's a lady, Sarah Webb. She has a YouTube video.
Uh huh.
Um, would we able to share a clip of this with them?
You would have to share your screen. I don't know, girl. I honestly don't. As I said, because of this technical issue, things are going to be a little bit different. So maybe,
We would have to drop it in the chat for them then.
yeah, maybe we can do that. We just
Basically,
talk
what
about
she,
talk about what was on the,
yeah, basically
yeah,
what she was saying is when she was growing up, they had the same, her and her siblings, they had the same parents, same mother and father.
mm-hmm,
Both of them were, how they call them, African Americans. And some of them came out lighter than others, what we call light skin, brown skin.
mm-hmm,
And so her sister was dark skin.
mm-hmm,
And when the older folks came over to lunch and dinner and whatever, when they had their family gathering,
right,
and like the great aunt, like your mom's aunt, they came over,
yeah.
there was always a discussion
Oh, there goes
about
that.
her sister because she was the one with the darker complexion.
Right,
And they were talking her sister, referring to her sister, oh, you're gonna have some nice babies when you get older, or you're the one that's gonna break some hearts because she was lighter complexion.
mm-hmm,
And she said then she always used to ask her mom afterwards what they meant by that.
right,
Her mom explained to her, don't worry about them. You're pretty just the same. That lighter skin doesn't mean that your sister is more better than you. That type of discussion her mom had with her at that early age.
Did you deal with that
Okay,
before,
so
Teresa? You ever dealt with that, Teresa?
just I wouldn't say that, unless it came way where, in the Caribbean, you just ignore that. It's
Yeah,
not
but
like
you,
we
ignoring it and
say
it
that.
happening is two different things. It's not
What I'm
about
saying,
ignoring it. Does it ever
even if
happen?
it was thrown at me,
Mm-hmm.
it was never something that I dawned on. It mostly would get like when you're passing people and they don't know your name. They'll say, hey, they call you brown skin, or, short hair, long hair, that type of thing in terms of getting your attention. But making it a tease, I never experienced that per se. I
But
hear you
this
saying
is,
sometimes
but this is the
where,
part that I learned because we sometimes we don't, when we're in our own shoes, we don't realize what's happening around us. Um, that is considered a privilege, and um, we don't realize that uh, you know you not either feeling it or knowing it or whatever, that is actually the privilege happening. And they have people that are darker complexion that would be teased or taunted for their complexion, right? So you might not even realize this, as you said, you realize it's even happening. For myself, it was a good thing or a bad thing. It was more, I think, as you said, I didn't really understand it when I was younger. I was called pink pig. I was called red nanny. People tie my hair onto chairs, or yeah, rub my cheeks until they turn pink or whatever. So, but I also used to have people throw money at me, right? Like give me money or give me stuff free or let me.
I've never
Yeah,
experienced
yeah,
that.
man. I would get whatever I want. Like it was, but I didn't understand it. Like I didn't know what that means. So my mom had a rule where you weren't allowed to take anything from anyone, right? So she said, don't take anything from anyone unless it's a family member, and even if it's a family member, let her know first because I didn't realize what was happening. It was only as you get older and you see things happening, you see the differences, you can start to maneuver and say something is going on here. What the hell is this? But um, I see both sides of the argument, but we have to realize that when a person that is a darker complexion say you're getting away with something because you are this, to acknowledge it and recognize it.
Okay.
Yeah, go on.
Okay, there are some quotes that persons
Say you need to be louder. We'll drop a couple of videos in the chat. We have quite a bit of videos tonight. Yeah.
Pardon?
We have a couple of videos, remember? So we'll have to drop those in the chat.
We'll drop those in the chat for
Yeah.
you guys. And some of the quotes that we came across was lighter skin black men being seen as weaker, but the men also have the
Yes. Yes.
lighter skin black men being seen as weaker than dark
Mm-hmm.
colorism as the healing and the toxic thinking.
Yeah. Did anyone in the chat, do you ever get picked on because you were a lighter complexed man when you were younger?
That's Victor.
Victor, if you were lighter complected when you were younger, did you ever get picked on, and what was that experience like? Just remember the situation. Girl, let's go back into celebrity land. You remember that whole Rihanna situation, you know, that the abuse that happened? I sound like Chris Brown now, a situation. The abuse that happened, the violence, the physical violence that, you know, that Chris Brown did to Rihanna. Do you remember when there was Drake came into the mix and it was like, oh, the light-skinned guys are going at it, and then, ooh, all of a sudden they're tough. You know, they actually made that a thing, and I literally sat back and, like, you know, there was even one quote that said, all of a sudden light-skinned boys are tough. You know, and oh, Rudy's here. Hi, Rudy. Good night, Rudy. Oh, Rudy, we were talking about you earlier, and we send our love to you. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so, you know, so I just found that very interesting that they actually associate light-skinned men to being weak. So that's interesting. I don't know where that come from, but I have no idea the history of that one.
Me either. As Rudy is here, can you share anything regarding the dark skin and light skin?
Yeah, Rudy, did you ever had any kind of situation where if you were lighter complected when you were younger, or if you are, did you ever get picked on because you were lighter complected as a male? Or have you ever seen any guys, or have you picked on a lighter complected guy because, you know, or even darker complected person? What is your experience with shadism and colorism?
Rudy is saying thank you for all the good and bad.
I cannot with him. Rudy, your boyfriend's in the chat with you, Victor. You guys can hang out. I can't. I cannot.
Oh my goodness. Rudy's always up for a laugh.
Yep, it's good.
They usually correlate darkness to be aggressive
Yeah,
and have that toxic behavior.
yeah.
So it seems like the light-skinned women, they go after and they favor, but the light-skinned men are known to be weaklings, basically. And when it comes to the dark-skinned men now, they're saying they're aggressive, and the dark-skinned women, what are they saying with the dark-skinned women now?
I'm gonna sip on my tea for a minute.
There's also saying that the dark-skinned women are also aggressive.
And that's interesting. Rudy said they wouldn't pick on him. He's ready to fight. And then he said, "Hi, brother Victor." Now let me tell you something. And you know, I cannot speak to the experience of the East Asian or Aboriginal community, but I can speak on the experience of the Black community, and or my experience of the Black community. And you know, you had that issue during slavery with light-skinned blacks being inside the home and darker complected blacks being outside the home, in the fields, in the cotton fields. And that actually created a division. It was a psychological warfare, you know, because now we're fighting over who's getting treated better as a slave, you know, and you're getting beaten and treated badly. Oh, internet is unstable. Girl, I'm having a whole bunch of trouble. If we cut off, you just keep talking. If you just keep talking, as I said, it's been interesting. Anyhow, yeah, so, you know, that actually transition all the way through history to where we're still doing it to ourselves. And we have to educate ourselves and realize that we're a unity.
As you said, through history,
Yeah.
there is a documentary also drop that in the chat about bleaching.
Oh gosh, yes.
So,
That's a
and
billion dollar
this is not
billion dollar
women.
industry.
This is men.
I know.
Men
Men.
bleaching their
Yep.
skin.
$1 billion.
There's also persons, there's also that famous reggae singer who sings about bleaching.
I don't know his name.
And
What's his name
in
again?
In Jamaica, it is a thing.
Who's the reggae guy that bleached himself? Anybody knows?
Gosh, you trying to let me remember that guy now?
I don't want to call his name because last time I called the name, he
No,
told me it was
no,
wrong
no,
person.
no,
So,
it's not this that guy. Oh.
anyways, go on because I can't remember his name.
There, you can check the video out just typing cake. So, cake as cake that you eat. So, and once you put that in YouTube, you have the whole video on skin bleaching in Jamaica. It's a full documentary.
But it's not only. Let's not pick on Jamaica now. It's not only Jamaica. It's all over the world.
No, I'm talking about the documentary.
Yeah.
It's there.
Mhm.
But when I saw it, because I know when we were at school, everyone used to walk go to school with soap. And there was this soap called Septol soap. It's like a little, very dark green, like an army green type of bar.
Okay.
And when lunchtime breaks, we go back into class. Everyone was in the back. The females were in the back washing their face. You know, the grease and the grime from running around. And you know, when you get into like fourth form, there was no more running around. You had no time to outside the playing when you break from that. You lunch.
Oh, Victor said he got called Red Ant.
What is Victor's complexion?
Victor was very light some complected based on the fact that he responded like that when he was younger. So he's saying that.
What's his complexion now?
I don't. What are you asking me for? Why did you ask the chat? She's like, what is the complexion now? How am I supposed to know?
It's called Red Ant.
That's what he said. He said it Red Ant. I'm just reading. And Rudy said, I've always been attracted to the light-skinned women for some reason or the other, but I do have plenty of dark-skinned women too. Victor, that boy don't discriminate. and Victor said, Snuffy head and all that until I threw some paws and a few times. So in other words, they would call him all different kind of names until he beat the crap out of them. It seems like he started fighting. We don't promote violence. Yeah, that's what they say. They say that. Yeah. Aggressive has nothing to do with your complexion.
No, but this is what they're saying. This is the quote that we researched. This is what they're saying. So I'm saying now, it doesn't matter what color your skin is. If you have to be aggressive, you're going to be aggressive.
Amen. But don't.
Okay? If you
practice love and peace. My glasses are crooked. Ow.
It has nothing to do with the color of the skin, like everything else.
But you know, like for example, I remember I had a friend back in the day who was Vietnamese, and I remember him saying that he would get treated differently and more harshly because of his complexion, you know, and then he called a different culture and he associated them as dirty. And he goes, I'm not a dirty this, you know, and I'm like, wait, what? You just complained to me about, you know, the Asians in the North calling you a certain name, and now you just turned around and the Asian in the more South, you're doing the same too, and he couldn't understand, and it was considered normal. Are you yawning when I'm talking, girl? Teresa's tired. We're our difference in time zones.
And I only stopped when I got in the house to come on Zoom.
Oh Lord.
But it has been a long day.
Victor said, Reds, Shibbeens, all kind of names. Rudy said, thank you for your prayers and well wishes, Victor. Oh, nice. And he said, yeah, Yella. Yella? I guess they call him Yella. Yeah.
I heard that phrase before.
You know what my advances were? A lot of sexual advances towards me because of my complexion, and that I did not appreciate. And it continues, you know, in some Caribbean islands when and other places, but I'm just talking about my experience in the Caribbean island. I'll tell you one experience that I had that really shocked the living crap out of me. I know we're going off script, but I want to talk about this. I had a situation happen in the airplane, and there was an emergency landing in DR, Dominican Republic, and I went. What ended up happening was Canada arranged for us to stay at the hotel and everything. So I made friends with a lady who actually was representing the Raptors. And she was one of the PRs to the Raptors. And we started talking. We kind of really hit it off. And we were, having a great time. So anyhow, we ended up going to the same hotel, making sure we got in the same bus to go to the same hotel. Girl. When we got to the hotel, the manager, he started making two lines. And it's only when I kind of dawned on it, I was like, no. He put the light-skinned blacks and the white people on one line and the dark-complected people in one line, okay? And so the light-skinned blacks and the white people, I had 2 king-size beds in my room. It was a complete suite and everything. I had an elevator so a person take my bags and everything. Yeah. I had no problems, this and that, whatever. I had free drinks and this and that. The lady, I didn't find out the next morning, and this is a thing where I said that we don't realize when it's happening sometimes, right? We have to be a little bit more conscious of when it's happening. She had to carry her own bags. They didn't get the floor that had an elevator, so they had to drag all their belongings up the stairs. And there were 7 to 11 people in a room. Okay? And so these are strangers that don't even know each other. And here I am in my big suite with everything. I mean, living room, dining room, 2 king-size beds, everything. A balcony, chaperone, everything. And I didn't know. So when I came on the next morning, I'm all like, yeah, we got a free stay, because it was a 72-hour stay. And I came downstairs, and they're showing me where to eat and everything like that. And I see the anger and frustration on people that are sitting at certain tables, and I'm like, what's happening? And now they're angry at me. I didn't know what was going on, and she came over.
That's the same thing like the scenario you opened with.
Yeah.
Back in the slavery.
Yeah, exactly. So when she came over, I went over to the table and I said, "Hey, how you doing?" She was not happy, and to even see me. And I go, "What's going on?" And she started talking, and some people started talking really loud about how they were being treated and stuff like that. And in that moment, I go, "Oh my God, this is what's happening." So I said, "Girl, you can come to my room. You can share my room." And she said they wouldn't let her. So I literally had to go and kidnap her bags. I had a guy say, "Oh, I mistakenly give a person my bag, and he came with me and he took it at the elevator and this and that, whatever." And I give her my room key, and then she met me in there. She was able to take a shower and everything. And I just found that just blew my mind. And unfortunately, it's a normal practice in the DR. Just saying. So anyhow, that was my story. Go on.
One of the other things we researched, and you can find this on Pinterest.
Rudy, you need Jesus. Rudy needs Jesus. He's Rudy. The whole reason of us doing this show is so we can point out what's wrong, so that we don't repeat it. Rudy, huh?
I'm not seeing Victor's comment.
Yeah. Yeah.
That term is mainly used. I don't know if it's correct for me to say it in places that speak Creole, but I know it's used.
Okay.
In St. Lucia market.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know if it's used in where else speaks Creole. I don't know if it's used in Haiti.
Okay.
They also speak Creole.
Oh, okay. So Victor says yellow. He said red bone.
I've heard that term before.
I've heard that one too. Yep. And then he said, so you're a white woman, in other words, then ha ha ha, you're funny. And Victor says, ha ha, in denial. No, thank you. I'm a proud black woman.
Okay. I found something here on Pinterest where they talk about the faces of India, what they show and what they don't show.
Yes.
So the faces of India versus the public face of India is a light-skinned woman.
Yeah.
Nice straight hair.
Yep.
And the
Yeah.
And the dark skinned woman also is straight hair.
You know what's famous for that too? Brazil.
I was
Famous.
about to say.
Oh,
And then they
famous for
have
that.
the Faces of Brazil, where she looks like one of those actors, can't really remember, but a white complexion.
That's not true. Most Brazilians are black. Sorry.
So this is the one that they're showing here. And then
Mm.
they show you the hidden face of Brazil, where there is
Yes, the caste system. Agree.
a lady of black complexion,
Mm-hmm.
and she's wearing
Dark complexion, you mean?
a national dress,
Mm-hmm.
a national garb like that. And then the same thing in the Philippines. They show
Yep.
you the hidden faces of the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
There's a black girl with her afro, and the public face, she looks more like brown to me,
Mm-hmm.
with black straight hair. So you know, like when you see Philippines, and mostly on Miss Universe.
Mm-hmm. They're famous for that nonsense.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
famous for that
especially
nonsense.
in your head,
Mm-hmm.
what, who I'm referring to.
You need to speak up louder, Teresa. Teresa, no one can't hear you.
When you watch Miss Universe, you'll maybe see the Filipino, the Brazilian, the Indian, many people that are light skinned and straight haired.
Rudy and Victor want to do a GoFundMe for a microphone for you. Tell them you got a microphone. They so bad. We go have fun with them in Barbados. It's okay. Payback. That's karma. Don't worry. You will take care of them. Don't listen to them.
That's one of the other things you can go ahead and research. It's called Black Power on Pinterest. Okay?
Yeah.
Now,
But let's talk a little bit more about that bleaching, because I think we kind of skimmer over it a little bit because I interrupted. That is a billion-dollar business, and
it is.
those things can cause cancer, liver and kidney issues. Like, there's so many different things that it can disturb with your immune system and your skin. I've seen people with with their skin burnt and still doing it, Yeah. He said, all jokes aside, the same kind of thing is going on in the Dominican Republic with the Haitians as we speak. There you go. There you go. Mm-hmm. 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 That's true. Thank you, Rudy.
When we started earlier, we were talking about
Garage
the
sale.
hoax slave and you're gone again.
I'm here. Don't worry. Keep going.
And the yard slave.
Yeah.
That
The field.
gives someone within your own arena, your own circle, privileges over yourself, and these privileges cause you to be on the lower end or make you feel that you're not as important.
Mm-hmm.
It causes chaos within that circle. And that's
Well, that was the whole practice of colorism, right? That's
the same thing
that's
with
yeah, that's the same thing. Yeah.
There are many documentaries on YouTube that you can watch with how they treat each other
Mm-hmm.
when the Haitians want to go over to the yard to sell their produce. And it's just a river that divides them. When I saw that, I
Yep.
was like, really?
Victor says Jamaica be bleaching their skin. Yeah, and we were just talking about that, Victor. In Jamaica, it's a very widespread practice.
It's a very popular thing there.
Mm-hmm. They do it all over the world. We're not going to pick on Jamaica only, but it does it all over the world. It's just that, it's sad. I'll tell you why it's sad. Because we're still doing what happened during colonialism, is that we're still allowing, the peoples that be to control our narrative thoughts about ourselves, and that we're not beautiful, or we're not good enough, or we're not valued, and
Personally,
yeah.
the Jamaican artist that really started pushing the whole bleaching thing, because himself was doing it.
What was his name?
Vibes.
Who?
Vibes Cartel.
Vice Cartel, right? I couldn't remember the name. Yeah, Vice Cartel. Yeah.
He uses a strong agent to lighten his skin.
There was also a rapper too, because she did it first, and now she is the face of the bleaching product. And then he went and did the same thing.
Oh, yeah?
And they were walking around New York or wherever the heck they were together. And there was pictures of them together. I can't remember her name, but Yeah.
You said the rapper?
I think she's a rapper. I think she's a rapper.
Send us a picture.
The bleaching is called whitish or white or bright or something like that. And she is the face of it. I think it's probably her product or whatever. And she made herself completely white. Like, mm.
But I find it really awkward
Mm-hmm.
for men to be doing it.
I don't know. It has nothing to do with man or woman. Nobody should be doing that.
I find it awkward.
That has to do with, listen, that has to do with a particular race of people saying to you that your people, your culture, the way you look, the way you dress, the way you are, your complexion alone, even your complexion, just your complexion alone, is not good enough, is not valuable, it's not clean, it's not nice, it's ugly. And so, hold on. So, what they've done is, now you get elevated for looking more like them. That's what they're more comfortable with, right? So, at the end of the day, that's self-hate that you're practicing. You're doing what the KKK can do. You're doing for them. Put it that way. I said it. Now what? What the KKK could not do, you are doing for them. Teaching you to hate yourself.
When you go on YouTube, you see so many things here about
Mm-hmm.
who are bleaching, persons of different religion who are bleaching, and artists that I see.
Michael Jackson was a skin disease or bleaching. He had, as far as we know, he had a skin disease, but nobody even wanted. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And that's another conversation that, people, I remember back in the day, they were not, they were looked down upon and scorned and treated badly, and people can say what they want. He would have been genocide, and that's the truth. He would have been, spoken bad about. They would have made fun of him. They would have done all kind of ridicule and whatever. I can't remember her name, the model that kind of brought the issue to it and kind of put it in a center right in our faces and say, I'm beautiful the way I am, and whether you like me or not, if you don't like me, close your eyes. I can't remember her name. She was on, what was her name? She was on America Top Model. I can't remember her name, but she's Canadian. She's Canadian, and
Canadian model.
Yeah, Canadian model.
Was her quote? If you don't like me,
close your eyes. And oh yeah, she was on with Tyra Banks, exactly, yeah. And but yeah, at the end of the day, that's what you're doing. You're practicing self-hate. You don't like the way you look because someone has told you that you're not good enough, that your skin is not good enough, and that you'll be better if you look like me. So that's self-hate.
That name?
I don't know. She's a black lady. She's black. And she's young. I think she's in her 20s, early 20s.
Okay, I don't know because it doesn't say much. I just type in what you said before.
She was on American Top Model. You could put that in there. But anyways, yeah, she's basically been going around as an advocate for the disease and just saying, not be scorned. In some countries in Asia, for example, that would be considered that you had leprosy or something like that. And yeah, so I could understand why he did not advocate about that too much, and he would just rather let people believe he was bleaching. Probably easier. Back in the 80s and 90s, we've come a long way as a society. Let's be real. Let's hold on. Let me just say this. We've come a long way in society because the words that we use, and I hear people getting all bent out of shape about certain words and saying certain things or whatever. If you had said some of these words back in the day, girl, please, they wouldn't. You could not tell people certain things. I remember when you couldn't call a black person black. Remember that? Yeah, they called me Negro. Yeah, because they associated black to the color. Mhm.
That's why they invented that.
Mhm.
That's why they started off with Negro.
But the thing is like. But the thing is like back in the 80s, I remember you could not call a black person black because black was associated with the color, not the culture. And they had to be an education about it being culture and not color. I remember that. So.
The other thing we were speaking on.
Yeah.
Were different quotes that
Yeah.
persons get called.
Let's go through those.
There's,
I'll have
huh?
you. I'll have you read them out. My dress is just doing
Okay.
all kind of craziness. Sorry.
Lighter skinned black men being seen as weaker than darker men
Yeah.
with toxic thinking. That was one of them. And
Say
there's
it one more time.
also
Say it one more time.
lighter skinned black men being seen as weaker
Right.
and correlating darkness to aggressiveness is toxic.
Hmm. Interesting.
That's one that keeps appearing.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I search that. Also, there's also the reason lighter skinned black women are favored because light is seen as more feminine, since darker skin is aggressive.
Okay.
So a lot of quotes that I went through, those two are
You okay?
they keep popping up.
Yeah. But you know what's interesting is that I've had a very I have a lot of lived experiences, and so when I hear something like that, because of my lived experiences, I'm like, if that's favored, man, shoot. And that's why people don't really understand. Because I'm light complected, it means that my abusers were going to say, oh, well, sorry, you're light complected, I'm not going to touch you. You know what I mean? So I think that's where we have to realize, both people that are darker complected and people that are lighter complected, that there's a disadvantage on both sides because we are all marginalized people. It doesn't matter, right?
Okay.
Yeah, go on. What do you say?
There's
No, no, no. Don't let her read. Don't let her read. Oh Lord, we will be here all night.
they still not hearing me properly.
Yeah, talk louder.
My neighbors are gonna call the police on me just now.
Theirs will be fine. Tell their
Oh,
neighbors to turn on Hot Tea with Pleasures every weekday, every Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube.
there's one that we have here on colorism.
Okay.
This lady, she seems to be popular in discussing this topic.
Before you go any further,
And
can you go back one more time and tell the difference between colorism and shadism so people that just joined us can know and understand?
yes, colorism is the discrimination, especially within a racial or ethnic group, favoring people with lighter skin over those with darker skin.
Oh,
And
it's
the
getting worse.
shadism is defined as discrimination against an individual on their skin tone. So that's the difference between colorism, discrimination of a racial, within a racial favoring people with lighter skin over the darker skin, and shadeism is discrimination against an individual of their skin tone. So that's the two. And
Mm-hmm.
if you want to go a bit deeper into that, you can go on YouTube and type in Dr. Sarah Webb on YouTube, and you can have a listen to her episode there on colorism and shadism. I think she explained it quite well.
Okay.
Hmm?
Keep going.
Okay, but they have a law. Let me pull this one up.
A law.
They have a law. Yeah,
Where?
I'll pull it up here. Global perspective on colorism, stepping toward a solution,
Mm-hmm.
and they're looking to put things in place for that. They also mentioned about the bleaching syndrome,
Mm-hmm.
and like you said, it's not only in Jamaica, it's worldwide.
Right.
And dermatologists are getting involved to let you know the harm that it can do to your skin.
And your
When you
internals.
stop bleaching, the permanent damage that it has done
Mm-hmm.
and that it is doing to the person's skin.
Yeah.
So it's not okay, I'm going to bleach today, get the color I want, and then I'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
When you stop bleaching, your skin cannot take the sun. It's different than someone that's albino.
Mm-hmm.
You
Albino?
always have to either wear glasses
Hmm.
or always have to have an umbrella over them because it
Before,
affects the
well, not you mind show
color
people
in
that are
in
albino.
light.
One second. Not you mention that people in our are all albino.
Um,
um, there is a particular, I think it was Tanzania, where they were having an issue over there of people actually killing them and taking their body parts.
really?
Yes. Yep. Killing. There's a movement right now going on about that. I think we should talk about that in one of our shows coming up because this is just horrific. I'm talking about they want their legs and their arms. That's what they're trying to get, and they'll chop them off and take it.
Wow.
Yeah.
This world, huh? This
I'll say
world.
something. This is why I could never be president.
That's why you give me what?
I couldn't be president. It would not like me. Go on.
So the external influences and the constant reminders,
Yeah.
the terms are ingrained on mind about the better skin tone and the better race.
Mhm.
Maybe the cemetery must be applied, making the state involved not just as an adversarial party against discrimination,
Right.
but as an imprisoned institution taking affirmative steps to sensitize more and more the very work this amazing conference will do. And they are referring to, go back up the screen, they're referring to the steps that they're taking to finding a solution. And this is, I think they call it the Colorism Conference.
Okay.
This was done by Washington University
Mhm.
School of Law
They're really
and
good at.
Harry
Mhm.
Rural Law Institute.
Okay.
Sorry?
No, they're very good at that particular part dealing with DEI.
I'm surprised you find something like this here that is taking steps to find solutions against what's going on.
But this is the problem I have.
So unless you can put it as a personal something.
No, it's not personal. Let me explain something to you because that's so deep rooted and it goes beyond just the skin. It's the mentality that goes with it, and you thinking that I'm going to get my life is going to change or things are going to get better for me because I bleach my skin. And so let's say it did, right? Now you have reasons to even bleach it even more, and so you continue to destroy yourself and who you are, your identity. Everyone is an individual. Even if you're identical twin, you're individual. And so now you're removing your individuality from this earth. That's basically what you're doing. So that it has a lot to do with self-hate and being colonized, and still having that mentality of slavery. It's a slave mentality. That this race is better than I am. They have it easier than I do. So I want to be like them so I can have it too. How about we change the rules? Other way where everyone has equality, and equity. How can we work on that part of life instead of trying to be like others? That's what we need to share, and that's what the issue is that we have capitalism running North America especially, and because of capitalism being the head of master of all things, everything that's happening like that around it is the reason because of capitalism. Let's be real, right?
So what's your in the audience? What's their take from all this? Any comments regarding the whole shadeism and colorism?
Anyone in the chat, you guys want to put your little 2 cents in and tell us what you feel and how what's your experience about it? One thing I want to also mention too, I saw something here saying hiding the deep-rooted desire for lighter skin. We also have to look at the media. I've seen pictures of Beyonce, and Beyonce gets brighter and brighter every week. You will see, and then you will see, certain celebrities. That you will see what they look like in real life, and you're like, man, I don't look like you, because they lighten the skin of the darker complected people to make them look more quote unquote better. That's what they say. If you watch, there was one piece. This is back in the day when I was in high school. I remember Tyra Banks actually making an issue about this, and she brought it onto the show and actually advocated about models being asked to bleach themselves or to wear lighter makeup, and having photographers actually lighten the skin of darker complected women so that it's more appealing is the word that they're using, appealing to the reader, or or it will make the clothes look better. The clothes will look better on her if she's lighter complected. And I remember when Naomi Campbell came out, all of a sudden it was okay to have a dark skin, but you can only have one. There's always only one, Can't have more than one because that'd be messy, So we've had that issue, and we have to work on the media. We have to work on capitalism. We have to work on so many different aspects, and that's why I'm saying it's a bigger and deeper subject. It's not only people bleaching themselves. It's the reason why they think that bleaching themselves will get them a privilege, and they're willing to sacrifice their skin and their lives because some of the stuff is cancerous to get that quote unquote privilege.
Yep.
Right.
WHO had stepped in this whole discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember researching for this piece, and it was saying that WHO was saying that the mercury salt.
Can you remind us who WHO is?
World Health Organization.
There you go.
Yeah, they were saying that the mercury salts inhibits the production of melanin,
Mm-hmm.
and it's used in the skin lightening products, and a lot of manufacturers and suppliers evaded the regulations that these harmful ingredients, and they were having a concern of it's a acute public health risk.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They were looking to bring stuff off the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they were successful in removing majority of them.
Mm-hmm.
There are still so many of them out there. They have them. I think people even go take the step of using the bleaching powder that
Mm-hmm.
you use for your hair and use it on their skin. And if you can see how that bleach strips the hair in a matter of like 5 minutes, you can actually watch it breaking down. You can imagine what harm it is doing to your skin.
Yeah. I was just sending a text. Go on.
WHO has stepped in to bring about change for such.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you. Okay. Are you?
I can't read that bit.
Okay, so I know that in the Caribbean, because we experience racism, discrimination, prejudice, and different things in different parts of the world differently, right? It's the same result in that you feel a certain way, especially microaggressions, man. Those are something. But anyhow, but the way you experience colorism and shadism in the Caribbean is, I find it a little bit different. For my experience versus here in Canada, where it doesn't matter what shade you are, doesn't matter what shade you are, you're black, right? And but within the community, however, it's still practiced, but it comes up differently in that I was kind of pushed to the side. No one kind of associated with me because I was lighter complected. So they kind of associated that I was probably snobby or, or privileged already. Yeah. So don't include her. So I got excluded from the, it was a very small black community within the school, very, very small, but I was not included. And so them thinking that, and I had it said, the reason why I know, because it was said to my face one day, I just found it interesting that you were thinking that I'm better than you, but you already thought you were better than me, and now you've excluded me, when we could just all come together and try to figure this whole system out, So we as a community has to realize that this practice is behavior that has passed down through the generations, throughout different cultures, throughout different countries, and we have to bring it to an end. The white race or lighter complexion is not better than darker complected people, and that's facts. Okay.
Reading here, there was a test that was done,
Mhm.
and to see who would work in the front and who in the back. Guess how they did this test? They did this test with brown paper bag. So if you were darker than a brown paper bag, this means that you work in the back.
Something wrong with that boy.
You work in the, you're too dark to work in the house. That was the way they did the skin test. And it wasn't just used by white people who tried to differentiate between black people. Black people also use this test. So in addition to the brown paper bag, the comb, and the door test were also used. The comb test was done for the kinky hair person. So if you pull the comb through your hair and it didn't go through, you had to work inside.
You know the Brazil. You know the story about Brazil versus Venezuela. Do you know the story, the backstory, and the history of that when it comes to colorism and shadism? There was part of write me if you want to write whatever. Part of Venezuela is actually Brazil. Okay, and in that particular part, that particular area, people who they can see that were dark complected or appear black were pushed to the Brazilian side. We call Brazil today, and those who could pass were kept on the Venezuela side. So they have people that were actually black but passed, so that they don't have to go through either being killed or slaughtered or being taken out of their homes. So it's a sad thing that us being colonized has left this stain, and we're now fighting amongst each other like crabs in a bucket. Meanwhile, the upper hand 1 percentile is just doing their own thing. They're not fighting. You understand what I'm saying? So that's something that we, as a group of people that have been colonized, all marginalized people, and calling you all out, need to stop this behavior. It really needs to stop and come to an end. No one is better than the other because of complexion. Remove those. The same way we worked on words, certain words, so they don't have any power, we have to take away that skin color power, because we are the ones that are actually putting fire behind that. We're the ones that are keeping it as valid by our actions and our behavior. So if we stop doing it, guess what happens? It demise, right? There you go. So that is our show. We're going to talk a little bit about Barbados for the last few minutes here. We got 5 minutes left. Teresa, you got anything going on before we get into the Barbados show in July?
Today was a good day. We had Saturday Go Cup.
Oh, what that mean?
I tried to get some tips from you guys, but
we can always put it up on YouTube. It's okay.
It was busy, and I imagine it still is busy. So, but
what's it called again? What's it called?
The race is Sandy Lane Go Cup. You can go on YouTube.
Sandy Lane Go Cup. Okay.
Yeah. Type in Barbados Turf Club on YouTube.
Barbados what?
Turf Club. TURF.
Turf
Barbados
Club.
Turf.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you'll be able to watch the Sandy Lane Go Cup if that is your thing. Also,
that's horse racing, people. It's horse racing, right?
Yeah, horse racing.
Okay.
Also, we have coming up our Earth Hour.
Ooh.
So I'm gathering some pictures of beach scenery.
I'm an Earth sign, by the way.
Landscaping.
Are you Earth sign?
What's that?
Are you an Earth sign?
If I'm an Earth sign?
Yeah.
What do you mean if I'm an Earth sign?
Check out your zodiac. Keep going.
Yeah, I'll draw you some pictures. Behind the same person, Nicolette, she will take care of that. And like you're seeing some videos of different parts of Barbados.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe share some stuff that when you're booking that trip, I need to.
The Diamond of the Caribbean, Barbados.
And if you're interested
All right, check her out now. Okay, so let's talk about July 28th in Barbados.
Yes, go on.
We'll be having, yeah, July, we'll be live coming in from, is it official yet? Everything's been signed off or no?
No.
Oh, God, okay. We're not official yet. Okay, but Rudy will be on the show. We'll get to see who Rudy is. Huh?
The letters have gone into the places that we have interest in.
Yep.
They made notification that, you know, they acknowledge us.
Yep.
And at a later date, they will give a response.
Okay, perfect. So Rudy.
Because we have Kaduma.
Okay.
Kaduma Propoba around, which is like 2 days after.
They don't know what that is. You gotta tell people what the stuff is.
It's like carnival.
Okay.
Now, most, what do y'all call y'all carnival over there? Y'all have a name for it.
So Rudy will be on the show. So Rudy will be on the show in Barbados. So you get to see what Rudy looks like, and we'll be.
If he's dark skin, I'll be light skin.
I don't care about that. I want to, if he's funny or not funny, he better be funny on the show.
Well,
And
is funny from the chat already, isn't it?
yeah, and then we have another person named Dario. He will also be on the show. I know he's funny as well. He's from the he's Bahamian. So we got Bayesians and Bahamians, man. And then what else? We have a couple of other vendors are going to be stopping by. I think the only one that's already confirmed is the fish cake guy.
The fish cake guy, the footballer.
The footballer.
Bayesian lives in Europe.
Okay.
He confirmed. He's all excited about
Nice.
talk on it. Yes.
Okay. Okay, and then we obviously will be invited some people that are.
Lady Christine, she also has confirmed.
Okay, I don't know who's Christine. Like, what does Christine do?
Okay, I'm getting her now. You know the video that was posted? The video that was posted with me doing the piece when I was out about Christine Franklin.
Okay, and what does Christine do in Barbados?
Christine Franklin, she is. I'm looking at her now.
Okay, we're running out of time.
The Good Living Network is her business.
Oh, Good Living. Okay. Well, Christine, we will see you on July 28th in Barbados. I don't mean to cut you off, Teresa, but we are running out of time. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you guys for tuning in again for another Hot Tea with Pleasure. I keep blanking out, but you know, we're trying to work with Zoom to get everything fixed. And remember to like and subscribe to our channel. Check us out on on Twitter as well as RSS for the audio. And Teresa, it was always a pleasure. I will see you next Saturday live at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Ciao, chica.
Bye.
Bye.
Miss that stack, taking big swings, put your hand to the bat. Put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag. Cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light. Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel. I took a red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real. But how's it supposed to feel?